So today I want to talk to you about the number one skill I think that you and I can continue to get better at, continue to develop, that will actually generate more results in our lives than any of the other skills. This is my personal opinion, and I think it's the skill of communication. I think that the better we get at communicating, the easier it is to move in the right direction in life, to move right on the bell curve, to help ourselves and the people that we're communicating with, the people that we're living with, that we're leading, that we're loving, actually get better results. And a lot of people think that communication is something that you're born with, right? You just were born with the gift of gab, or you were born as a great writer, you were born persuasive, and it's just simply not true. I think that communication is a skill that we can all develop, that we can all get better at if we will just put in the time, the effort, if we will just pay attention as we're going through life, as it relates to how good of a communicator we are and how we're getting better. And so today in this video, I want to share with you 3 ways that I think that you and I, if we pay attention to these 3 things, can become better communicators and get better results in our life. And here's the first one. The first one is to put yourself in the other person's shoes before you deliver the message, right? Some people would just call that empathy, and that's probably right. But the reality is most people, when they're getting ready to deliver a message, they're so focused on what they want to say, on what they want to convey, that they fail to stop and think about, like, how's this person gonna receive this? How do they want to receive this? And how do I want them to feel? And how do they want to feel? Right? You see evidence of this all the time because people often will say, well, that's not what I meant. And I think, oh, that's a tell that this person probably didn't do a very good job of thinking first about how the other person was going to receive the message before they delivered the message. Because I think that it's the onus is on the person delivering the message to actually think through before they deliver it. How is it going to be received? Right. And in order to do that well, you have to actually think about who is the other person? Who's the person on the other side? What do I know about them? What do I know about how they like to be communicated with? What do I know about human nature in general? Right. You don't necessarily have to know the other person, but you have to know how humans receive messages in order to craft messages in a way that they will receive well. And so I think, again, the first thing is before you say something, before you write something, before you give your opinion on something, take a step back, have some empathy, and think, how do I want this person to feel? How would I want to feel? Right? How is this person gonna receive this message? And then craft your message accordingly. The second thing is clarity and confidence, right? The clearer that you can become, the more that you know your stuff, the more that you've lived what it is you're going to talk about, the more you're speaking from experience, the more you're speaking from the heart because it's really who you are and what you believe, the clearer your message will be. Confusing messages are not nearly as impactful as clear ones. That's why writing is such a great tool, if you will. It's such a great trainer because writing forces us to take what's in our brain and condense it into a way where we convey it as clearly as possible in as few words as possible. Confidence comes along with clarity. The more clear we are on what we want to say, how we want to convey it, on how the other person's going to receive it, as we talked about in tip number 1, the more confident we'll be in our ability to deliver the message. And at the same time, confidence comes from not really being overly concerned with what people think, which might sound like a contradiction to number 1, but I mean it differently. Number 1 is we want to know how that person is going to receive it, how we want them to feel, what their propensities are. Number 2 is we want to speak in a way that even if we have to deliver a message that they're not familiar with, or maybe they're not going to like all that much, that we're confident in what we have to say and we're confident that we've crafted it in such a way that we're communicating in such a way that we have the highest chance possible of them receiving it as we desire for them to receive it. And so I think clarity, confidence, knowing your stuff, writing as a practice to boil down your thoughts into the smallest units that deliver the highest amount of impact is a great second step. Number 3 is pay attention to your nonverbal cues. When I was in college, I actually got a communication degree, oddly enough. And one of the things that they taught us, and I don't know if this percentage is perfect, but they said 90% of communication is nonverbal. And so as we're communicating, one of the things that you can do is you can actually do what I'm doing right now. You can practice communicating on a camera. You can practice communicating into a mirror. You can practice communicating in any way. It could be another person where somebody or something is recording your nonverbal cues. But inside of this tip of paying attention to your nonverbal cues is to smile when you communicate, right? I think that people who smile when they talk to people who smile when they're communicating a message, it's received better. It's received more friendly. It's received more warm. Now, sure, there's a time and a place not to be smiling when you're communicating, no doubt. But in general, the more that you can walk around and share your message with a smile on your face, the better it's going to be received. And so those are my 3 tips. The first, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Think about how they're going to receive it before you say it. The second, do it clearly, have clarity, and do it with confidence. And the third is pay attention to those nonverbal cues. I think if you will do that, if you will continue to work on that, if I will continue to work on that, our results in life will get better. And I know that because that's what I've seen happen in my own life. So here's 2, practicing those 3 things. Do it over the next week. Just pay attention to it. And I'd love to hear in the comments how it's working out for you. Appreciate you being here watching this video. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.